And so that one sale led to 10 other sales that led to another 10 sales, all by word of mouth, all by referrals. It's just amazing. Hi, this is Todd with Yep, That's Todd. Today we're going to talk about the Chamber of Commerce and how it can make you a better salesman and build a relationship of contacts. How did I get involved in the Chamber of Commerce? It's actually kind of a weird story. The chamber president, he was a glass repairman when I was doing it. And I was running the movie theater at the time, and I had a window break. And so I called him up, and he came on over. He was amazing. He was nice. And he said, Todd, you guys aren't a chamber member at the theater. And I go, well, we're not. What's that? I was in my 20s. I was like, what's a chamber member? My dad talked about that. And he goes, no, come out. So he invited me to come out to a chamber mixer, and I just loved it. I loved getting involved. And so that turned into me joining the chamber for the first time under the movie theater that I had worked for. And then slowly and surely, a couple of years go by, I get elected to the Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, and it just snowballed. I became part of the chambers. I started doing the raffle, just making contacts. So it just took and that's why, and I also learned you always are selling. That's why I always sell the chamber. In the beginning, how I got other Chamber of Commerce members to even let me come into their house and talk solar is a lot of times I would let them free, or I'd take them to movies on me. And so my pitch was, hey, you owe me. You got into the movie. We went to the movies. I took care of it. I want to practice my solar sales. And I would go in, and it would make sense, and I'd make the sale. When I first left the movie theater industry and jumped into sales, my first 10 sales were people at the Chamber of Commerce. I don't know, maybe it's because I let them into so many free movies, they felt obligated to actually come and let me sell them solar, or try to. But through the years, it's probably been almost 10 years now that I have been going to chamber mixers and building that community. I just have had great success with it. Not only have I sold very important people in the community, they give me the recommendation. So I am now the solar guy of the Chamber of Commerce that I'm a part of. Word of mouth is great. And when someone goes and they know everybody in the community, I sold to the mayor, and that mayor of this town knows everybody. It took me almost 3 years. He just really didn't pay attention to the bill. His wife paid the bill, and I brought it up constantly. Constantly. I was like, come on, you have this $400 bill. But he's like, it gets direct deposit out of his account. He doesn't really stress about it. No problem. He just couldn't do it. But on year 3, PG&E finally did a drastic increase. And that $300 or $400 turned into $600 or $700. And finally, he called me. I was so excited because I wanted this sale. He is a person who has always believed in me. He's now a county supervisor, so I still am in great contact. He still recommends me. But we went in, we took care of it, we installed it. I was there every day through the whole process. And because of that one sale, he continues to refer me and refer me and refer me. And so that one sale led to 10 other sales that led to another 10 sales, all by word of mouth, all by referrals. It's just amazing. I also am surrounded by business owners who have the same problems and concerns that I do. Payroll issues, tax issues. I found a couple of client gifts that I was able to buy through the chamber. So for instance, there's a baker there who makes the most amazing cakes. So one of my clients had a birthday. I wanted to do something special. So I called her up. She gave me a great price. And bam, I'm this guy who gave my client a gourmet cake. There's just so many opportunities in the chamber to build. The problem with chambers, it's not instantaneous. It took me almost a year to get to the point where people knew who I was. It took another year before I sold enough deals within that system for them to start trusting me. It takes time. And I think a lot of people in this industry don't realize that you have to put in the time. You have to grind it out. And if it's not instantaneous, that's fine. We're planting the seeds for later. Everything that we do as salesmen, everything that we do as business owners is to prepare us for the next step, the next level. And so I think sometimes people realize that, oh, I'm in a Chamber of Commerce, it's old. Only old people go to the Chamber of Commerce. No, we have an entity within the chamber. It's called I'm trying to remember the name. It's young entrepreneurs. So we have a section within the Chamber of Commerce, which is people like me, late 30s, early 40s, that want to continue to use the Chamber of Commerce, but also bring it into the new world. When I started on the Chamber of Commerce, I was actually elected to the board. And one of the first things that we tried to do is we tried to not get rid of their flyers and such, their card sheets and their mailers, but what we wanted to do is incorporate other things like Facebook and Twitter and all these other things that would bring us into a new age of entrepreneurs. And so I think that us as business owners need to get involved in our communities. So one of my favorite Chamber of Commerce story is when I met the chamber president. She was awesome. She kept me on my toes and let me, as a new salesman, come in and pitch her solar. And she warned me. She said, Todd, I'm going to be mean. I'm going to push you to your limit. And I said, okay, bring it on. So I went out to the house. We looked over her bill. I went through the whole procedure. This is one of my first ones I did by myself without my mentor. It was scary. And she pushed me, asked me crazy questions, and it was tough. But in the end, she decided to buy from me. And that was the first year. So that probably would have been 6 or 7 years ago. And it was awesome. We install it. It goes great. I'm always there for her. Then she ends up getting a new job with the food bank of the city that we live in the county that we live in. And that food bank gets this random grant for solar. And she immediately calls me and says, Todd, I'd like you to put on a big solar system on our food bank. I have this grant money. I want you to do it. It was awesome. I didn't have to go in there. She got a couple other bids to make sure that my pricing was good, but she wanted to only work with me. And so that seed that was planted reaped the benefits 5 years later, 4 or 5 years later, and I sold the biggest system I've ever sold in my career. You make these contacts, and these contacts will pay off dividends later. And so you always want to remember that. And that's what the chamber does. Now it's just, oh, you want solar? Let's call Todd. I am the solar guy. It took me 5, 6 years to become it, but I am the solar guy. So the Chamber of Commerce has been a big help for me. They're my family now. I know them. They know me. We have fun. And Chamber of Commerce is a great way for you to become a part of the community. And community builds trust. Trust builds sales. Sales build wealth.
Chamber of Commerce time. At the Chamber of Commerce. Say hi. At the Chamber.
I had a client, that actual mayor of the town. Should I say the town?
If you want to.
No, I'm not going to. This is what I mean, is you plant these seeds consistently all over the place. That sounded weird. Sales equal security and happiness. No, that doesn't. I don't like that. Security? I don't know. Let's go. I'm done with that.
That's okay.
Just cut that out.